So my name is Raisa Kubandi. I've been here a couple of times hosting, okay? And when I was here, I taught you guys something called 2 claps and a Ric Flair. And so if you weren't here when I was here, but it's all good. We'll see if you guys can remember this, okay? So real quick, let me get 1 clap. Okay. So if your neighbor was late on the clap, just, a little nudge on the, a little nudge. All right, let me get 1 clap. Let me get 1 clap. Let me get 2 claps. Let me get 2 claps. All right. Now we're going to do the Ric Flair. Okay, so this is a spicy part of it, okay? Because some people, when they do a Ric Flair, they go down. It's like, woo, but you don't want to do that. You want to go up on a Sunday night. So you want to go, woo. Do you guys see that? Do you see the difference in that? So let me get a Ric Flair. Y'all sound good. Turn to your neighbor. Tell them they sound good. You sound good. You sound good. Come on, somebody. You sound good. All right, let's see if some people have a little bit of rhythm in Forsyth County. Let me get 2 claps and a Ric Flair. If you are excited to be here tonight, let me get 2 claps and a Ric Flair. If this is the best night of the week, let me get 2 claps and a Ric Flair. We're going to have such a good time. Okay, so 3 things you need to know about me. Number one, I think Kobe Bryant is the greatest basketball player of all time. And if you disagree, just meet me after service and we'll take care of that. Number two, I am an Alabama football fan. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Listen. If you're booing me and you are a Georgia fan, really? You know what? Next season's your season. Don't worry about it. Next year is going to be different, okay? It's going to be so different. This is what Justin Fields taught us all, okay? You can take a player out of Georgia, but you can't take the Georgia out of a player, okay? So that's why that Ohio State game ended that way. Last thing you need to know about me is that my 2 best friends are my siblings, okay? So I have an older brother, Kevin Kubandi, and I have a little sister, Gloria Kubandi, okay? And so if you're going to be at VR next weekend, you're going to get to meet my older brother. He'll be speaking at some of the sessions. And so, my brother likes to work out. He likes to be in the gym, okay? He takes it very seriously, okay? So a couple years ago, I was like, hey, Kev, I'm trying to get back in shape, okay? I'm out here, getting winded going up the stairs, okay? I walked up the stairs one time, and I was like, my God, I don't know if I can make it up the stairs again, right? And I was like, I am way too young to be that tired after walking up the stairs. He was like, got you, little sis. Just meet me at the gym. So I go meet him, okay? He's like, first things first, we're going to do sprints. I was like, sprints? Where are we running to? We're just going to be running back and forth. So I was like, all right, dope. So we do the sprints. I'm like, okay, we done for the day? He's like, no, now a full body workout. Meet me in the weight room. I was like, my God, this man is trying to take me out. So we do legs, we do arms, we do a little circuit. So I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, now I got a surprise for you. Surprise? What are you, Santa Claus, just handing out random things? So he's like, all right, Rice, it's really easy. We're just going to do 6 minutes of core. 6? Yeah, 6. 6? Like 1, 2, 3, 6. I was like, all right, cool. So he's like, first, I want you to do this many sit-ups. Then I want you to get on your arms and do a plank, side plank, this plank, okay? Then I want you to do leg lifts, and then at the end of the leg lift, I want you to hold it 6 inches. Like the whole thing? He's like, yeah. Like the whole, all right, cool. So I do my little sit-ups. I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. I do my little plank. I start shaking. Right? And he's like, left side. Right side. All right, so now we're going to finish. And I was like, I'm finished. We're not going to finish. I'm finished. She's like, leg lift. I'm like, okay. So, 6 inches. And I'm like, you ever be in so much pain that you think you're going to die? Like you just You just think that you're gonna die, right? There's like this little like muscle that's right here in your core. I was like, that's gonna explode and I'm gonna die right here, right? And so my brother looks over and he's just like 6 inches, like, ah, man, this is nice, right? Like he's like talking to me and I'm like, right? And he sees the look in my eye. He's like, she's gonna quit, right? And he's like, you know what, Raisa? I don't need to be here. Okay, I already got a six-pack. I am here for you. I was like, you were a mistake. Mom and Dad never intended to have you, right? Like I was so angry. I was so angry at him, right? But the beauty of it is I finished the workout. I like dragged myself out of the gym, right? And the next day my legs were like jelly. I was like, hey guys, what's up? I'm here. I'm glad to be here. And what I learned during that workout is that perseverance doesn't come naturally. Endurance doesn't come naturally. It is actually a process. There's a man by the name of James that wrote a letter to a group of people that needed to persevere during a time where the church was being persecuted. So if you're new to church or new to church culture, what that means is back then, if they claimed to believe in Jesus, what would happen is their businesses would be taken away. They would be beaten in the streets. They would be killed just for believing in Jesus. So when persecution came, people were like, do you believe in Jesus? And Christians were like, nah, I don't even know that man. I ain't never seen him before. I don't even know what you're talking about, right? And so James writes a letter to a group of people who are dealing with persecution because of their faith. And it says this in James chapter 1, verse 2. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. We have the big Bible in the sky. It's right there and there and there. All right. James chapter 1, verse 2, it says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Now, I don't know what kind of vocabulary you have, but when I hear the word joy, I don't think trials. I don't think suffering. I don't think pain. When I hear the word joy, I think floor seats at a concert. I think an Alabama national championship. I think ice cream on a hot summer day. I think brand new sneakers. I think dunking on a fifth grader. All of those things. That's what I think about when I think about the word joy. But James is telling me like, yo, consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds. So what that tells me is that in order to build perseverance, in order to grow in maturity, perseverance requires perspective. That you look at your problem not as a problem, but as an opportunity to grow, right? So what do you mean by an opportunity to grow? Every time you have to forgive somebody, you're learning to be more like Jesus. Every single time you say a kind word to someone who doesn't deserve it, you're learning to be more like Jesus. Every time you get surprised by something that is painful, and all of us at some point in our lives will go through something that is not because of something that we've done, but because it'll be something that was done to us. And in those moments, the way that we respond teaches the world how we handle pain. So what James is telling us is like, yo, instead of looking at your problems like a problem, look at it from the perspective as an opportunity for you to grow as a person. So my question to you this evening, Inside Out, is to take a look at every single battle that you're in, and instead of looking at it as an opportunity for it to destroy you, an opportunity for you to mess up, to say, okay, God, what are you trying to teach me in this moment? What are you trying to show me in this moment? And when you take on that perspective, does it make the pain go away? Absolutely not. Because sometimes heartache just hurts. When you found out that your parents got divorced, having the right perspective about it won't make you happier. It won't make the fact that you have to go from one house one weekend to a different house the next weekend any easier. It won't make the fact that there are nights that your little brother and your little sister don't know what to do, so they come into your room looking to you to be the leader. And you don't know how to lead because you're just as mad and confused as they are, but you're the oldest, so you have to step up. But the shift in perspective that you can look at when you look at that moment is to be like, okay, this is an opportunity for me and my siblings to grow closer. Now I understand what my best friend was going through in 3rd grade when this happened to them, and maybe they can help me walk through this better. Now I can look at things and be like, yo, like, sometimes bad things happen to good people, but it doesn't mean that their lives have to be over. Perspective helps us build perseverance. The second thing that you need to build perseverance is that you need a good crew. You need some good people around you. At the end of last year, something amazing happened that people thought would never be possible. One man ran a marathon in under 2 hours. It was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable moment in sports. They never thought that this was going to happen. And what was interesting as I watched a video about this was this man, for the entire time he was running those miles, he had people running with him. And their job was not to compete with him, but instead their job was to help him run at the right pace, help him keep going, to encourage him. So this group of men and women ran next to a guy to help him achieve something that they weren't going to get credit for. My question to you this evening, Inside Out, who is in your crew? Who are the people around you? Do they support you? Are they for you? As I was getting ready for tonight, last night I picked out my outfit. You're like, it's not that special. I'm like, I know, but let me explain. Last time I was here, Heath came up on stage, and he had a little yellow ribbon. And the reason he had that little yellow ribbon on was because one of your family members had lost one of their family members. One of the students here at Inside Out had lost a family member. And what was beautiful is that as I looked across this room, there were multiple students wearing yellow because they were letting that student know, like, yo, you're not going to go through this alone. What if that became our new norm? That Inside Out could be a place where people didn't have to go through pain alone. Where Inside Out could be a place where we leave all the drama of school out of here and we get real and we get loving and we get kind. One of the things that people say about Christians all the time is that we're hypocrites. We're one way in certain places and we're a different way in other places. And for us, if you've grown up in church, if you've grown up around this Christian environment, you learn how to turn it on, right? VR. Right? But when Saturday is for the boys, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different wave. And the question you begin to ask yourself when you live this double life is, which me is the real me? Is it the me that when I'm standing at a conference or when I'm at VR or when I'm at summer camp and tears are streaming down my face at the idea and the reality of Jesus? Or is the real me the person that I am on Friday nights when I'm doing things that I promised myself that I would never do? And the answer to that question is that both of them are you. Both of them are who you really are. But here is where the choice comes in, is who do you really want to be? Which version of you gives you the most freedom? Which version of you gives you the most joy? Which version of you gives you the most hope? Barisa, you have no idea what high school is like, man. These girls, they ain't loyal. These streets are crazy. You just out here hanging out in Forsyth and you just trying to be good. But everyone is so bad. So bad. It's so bad. I'll tell you this. Jesus died for both versions of you. Jesus died for Friday night you. Jesus died for Inside Out you. But the reason he died was that you could experience more life, more hope, more peace, more joy, more strength, more legitimate community. And you can't have perseverance in your faith without a good crew. The last thing.